Hey guys! So, this is my do something different. I decided that instead of getting on mic and stuttering through a long-winded explanation of what God's laid on my heart, I decided to do an awkward video to show you guys. So, I hope you all came prepared to get close to God and have the ability to pay attention for like 15 minutes and then pay attention during worship and listen to what God has for you. And yeah, pay attention because I'll just be pretty much right behind you. So yeah, I'll just tap you on the shoulder, that stuff. So recently, I was dealing with a deep-rooted issue from when I was your age, 14, 16, whatever. And instead of dealing with it, I pushed it away really far back into my mind, only for it to come up at a really inopportune time, now when I'm 20, and I didn't really know what to do about it. So, it was really bad, and I kept holding on to this problem, and I didn't want to deal with it, so I kind of dragged my feet for a few days, and then I finally decided that I was going to go to God for it. And I was at work, and I threw all my stuff down, and I said, God, I don't want to deal with this, here you go. And he came to me directly, and kind of just showed me a bunch of visions pretty immediately, and that's different for me. Usually it takes time, but this was something very important, and he was waiting for me to turn to him. And I know that's what he's going to do with you guys too. So, this is what he had to tell me. This is a pig, and so is this. So when I say pig, I want you to think of this one, and not this one. So this one, not this one. So now that we have that covered, we are pigs. You're a pig. I'm a pig. He, she, they are pigs. We are not created to be pigs. We are created to be human. We are wonderful creatures of God. And we are sculpted in His image, born into a world of pigs. When you're not careful and don't hold yourselves accountable, we start to adopt piggish qualities. You grow an ear, you grow a tail, you grow a snout, and we don't realize it. And when we don't realize it, it's because everyone else seems to be slowly changing too. We're all turning into pigs. And this is not okay because we're not pigs. When we become more like pigs, more like the world, more like the darkness, we start to feel different. Maybe we feel like we fit in more with the pigs, but let me tell you what, when you sprout your ears and you start running around dirty and smelly and playing in the mud, there's only two choices for everyone else in your life. It's either one, to join you, or two, to evade you. So how do people notice your pig qualities? We don't actually turn pink and sweaty. I mean, I know some people, but... So people start to notice that we're pigs when we start rolling in the mud. Maybe we're not covered head to toe, but maybe our foot's covered or it's in our hair. Maybe we try to hide it, but forget there's a spot on our back. People notice no matter how much you try to hide it, and even more so, God sees everything. Pigs like to roll in mud, basically. They love mud. If mud is a pit, then simply it represents a pit of sin, a hole that swallows us up, keeps us trapped. We begin to roll around in the mud, getting a feel for it, a smell for it, a taste for it. We begin to crave it, search it out, even when we don't even realize it. That's really not a good thing. Remember those people that either joined you or ran away from you? So here they are again. These are the people that fled from it. They didn't want any part in your life. They didn't want any part in your mud bath. Not only did they want to watch you drown, but they were afraid for themselves. They didn't want to start doing things that would hurt their relationship with God, and they sacrificed their relationship with you because they'd rather have one with God. Sometimes it's really hard to drop a relationship, a friendship, especially if it's a good one, but when it comes to getting muddy and ignoring God, fleeing is the best option. On the other hand, these are the other people, the ones that have joined you, followed you, trusted your judgment. These are your buddies. Maybe they never knew about your piggish qualities, but maybe they did. Maybe they have their own. Maybe you have the same ones. They see that you like mud, and they like mud too. So maybe they'll try it, since you like it. And maybe they'll try worse mud, because they see you doing it. Either way, you've joined the party together. And sometimes you don't realize it, and sometimes you don't realize it's a bad path. And sometimes you realize that it's too late. Or sometimes you justify it, because everyone else is doing it. But that doesn't make it clean. Remember, this is mud. You can't stay clean while you're taking a mud bath. So what is mud? Mud is sin. Mud can be any type of dirt. Mud can be any type of sin. Anything that makes you weak and slow and lethargic, lazy, anything that makes you not want to get out of the pit. Anything that drags you down and away from God. Anything that makes you blind or deaf to his words and actions. Mud is the stuff that you want to hide. Mud is the stuff that your parents told you to stay away from when you were like 12. Mud is what you face every single day of your life. So you're in a mud pit. And you look like a pig. You've been rolling around in mud for a day or 2 weeks or a month or a couple years, like, in my case. You've ignored God and acted like it was all okay. That it wasn't a problem. You haven't told your parents. And maybe you're hiding it from your friends. And maybe you've made piggish friends because of it. So what happens when we're covered in mud? We get tired. We get depressed and covered from head to toe in our sin. You can't see what's underneath the mud anymore. Our bodies are covered in dark, wet dirt, mud, and we can't find our skin. As much as we try to brush it off, we just can't get to the core of it. We can't see the beauty that God has created us all to be, and we can't see our value. We really lose track of who we are. When we walk around covered, or even just a few spots that are covered, or even the spots that we're trying to hide, like our stomach, or our back, or our feet, we get a bad reputation, and other people can see it or notice it just by the way you do stuff, by the way you move, by the way you act. And sometimes the reputation is so bad that even when God cleans us up and we're squeaky clean walking a new life, it's still there. People still think of you as the pig that you once were. They see you as dirty and assume we're still rolling around in it, even when we're not, and it's really harsh. The worst part of mud is how hard it is to get off of you. When mud dries, it gets hard. And it sticks to your skin, and it hurts really bad when you try to pry it off. And when you rub it off with your nails, it creates a rash. And it leaves dust and an unclean feeling. And sometimes we want the mud back so we don't have to go through the healing process. Or the rash, because it feels better when you put stuff back on it. But when you put it back on, it's twice as hard to get off because it's dried again. And it cracks our skin and it leaves scars. And scars we can see even after we're completely healed up. And they're scars that are never going to go away. And that's okay. I mean, it's going to be part of our past, but it doesn't have to be a part of our future. Because every day is a new day. When trying to get mud off, it gets everywhere. It makes our surroundings dirty. It makes our hands dirty. Makes our clothes dirty. Makes our skin itch and burn. It drags through the house and the carpet. And cleaning it up and trying to get rid of it is really almost impossible. But, the best cleaner of mud is water. Step number 1, rinse with water. He rinses our open wounds. He takes the burn away and prevents infection. He prevents it from spreading or cracking or bleeding, and we don't have to be burdened by the rash or the cracks that come along with mud. Because he heals us. And over time with patience and TLC, our open wound becomes a scar. He stitches it up, dries it, wraps it, gives it a kiss, tells us it's going to be okay. He stops our crying and our pain and our fear that we did something wrong. He makes it okay again. A healed up, forgotten about scar. God knows about it, and we'll talk about it in heaven with him. But I don't have to be afraid to show it off every day, I don't have to be afraid to talk about it with people, because he's already fixed it. He's already healed it up, and now it's just a scar, that I can show for his glory. He's already repaired it and set it straight. It's never to be an open wound again. Unless we strategically rip it back open, it's never going to be there again. But if we open it, we throw away his hard work, and that means we want to suffer it all over again. The enemy can always come back and try to hurt us with it, but when we think about it, already being healed, already being taken from us, there it is. The best way to prevent getting scars at all is to flee from danger when it's appeared. And if you can stand up to it, that's fine, but it can get really messy really quick. Mud gets everywhere, but water cleans mud, and he'll never run out of water. We just have to ask and accept the help he wants to give us. We have to stop ignoring him and stop masking our pain and hiding it from people. We have to allow him to tend to our wounds. Yay! Now it's the activity! It's really, really simple. But it allows you to learn yourself and to have goals. And remember to thank God for his love and his mercy and forgiveness in your direct life. So what type of mud are you in? What type of wounds are you trying to hide? What mud do you want to shake off? What sin are you in when you really, really think about it? Not gonna lie, I have a lot. But the thing is, I deal with them each and every single day. I write down my struggles and I use a burn barrel, which I write them on a piece of paper, I put them in my burn barrel, and when I feel that I get over it, I reread it, I thank God for it, and I burn it. Because to me, burning them is, showing me that I've been forgiven, showing me that, I left it at the foot of the cross and I'll never have to deal with it again. It's a representation of it truly being gone. Not because I deserve it, but because he already paid the price for me to get over it. So your activity is to focus. To focus on God, to be quiet, still your heart, seek him. Allow the Holy Spirit to convict you of whatever wound, whatever mud you're in. Write it out. You can do individual slips, put them in your bags, your struggles and your victory bags, or you can write them all out, take them home, put them in a jar. You can make a long list of things you want to get over and, keep a victory list or cross them out when you're done. This is just for you, just between you and God. It doesn't matter, what everyone else is doing. It's just to give you a perspective of being in a mud pit and finding your way through it. Not alone, but by God pulling you out hand in hand. He forgives you, and he wants to heal you, and he loves you. And so you have a jar for your struggles, and when you're ready to let it go and move on, when God says be healed, I hope you find great joy in moving it from one to the other. And remember, when you move one to the other, thank him. It's really that simple. So we'll be going into worship. A quiet Jesus and me time, and do whatever you like. Do whatever activity you want, whatever really captures your heart. And use the things given to you to get closer to him. Use the papers and the bags, whatever. Take it home, put it in a jar, do whatever you like. Just use this time wisely and efficiently, and just remember that his presence is everywhere, and he's ready to heal you whenever you come to him. So, that's all. I love you guys, and I hope this helped. Bye!